Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're here with the Ultimate Racing League, and this is the Sunday Championship, and it is the League of Champions, and this is round 4. Round 4 we are at Brands Hatch. It is 2.4 miles long, and it has 9 turns. It's got more, but some of the turns aren't really a turn, so I'm leaving them out. I think there's probably more than like 13 or 14 turns, but only a couple of them don't really seem like turns, so I've just put it down for as 9 turns. Obviously we have got 2 races for you. In the first race, it is obviously soft tyres, no pit stops. It will be 18 laps, and yeah, so currently, like, obviously this is round 4, so like at the moment Toby is dominating with majority of the wins, and that, so when it comes to will Toby do as well in this race, we will find out. Anyway, let's get this race going. They did have a 10-minute quali. So Brisbane got pole. Hopefully he can have a better better round this time, because he didn't have the best for round 3. He starts on pole. Neil Farmack will start 2nd. Fitzy will start 3rd. Smith will start 4th. Toby will start 5th. He won, I believe, both races in round 3, so I'll be hoping to bring his performance into this round. Motorstorm 6th, Dyson in 7th, Victor in 8th, PY in 9th, Rodders in 10th, and Unforgiven in 11th. Obviously, I've got to say thank you for Dyson for sharing the replays, because without them being shared, I can't do the comms. Okay, so anyway, now that's done, let's get on with this race and see how they do. Okay, Briz is bringing them down towards the start-finish straight, waiting for it all to... Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, for God's sake. Right, there we go. Just waiting. Breeze is just waiting for the lights to go out so they can get going. And they are off as Breeze sprints down towards Paddock's Hill for the first time. Onto Haywards Hill. And as they come down towards Druids, and then down to Graham Hill Bend, onto Copper Straight, and then Saltines obviously corner, and onto Pilgrim's Drop out of this bit. Onto Hawthorne Hill, and then Hawthorns after that. Anyway, so obviously all the top 6 have already started to pull away from Dyson there in 7th, who's got Victor chasing him down in 8th. Rogers there in 9th. Unforgiven as 10th. PY is in 11th, so he's dropped down. He hasn't had the best start. He's down in 11th now as he comes through Shin Curve onto Sterling Corner. As he comes towards Clearways Corner onto Clark Curve. So there's 2 names for this turn. Anyway, lap 2, Briz has got the lead, and he's already started to get away. He is starting to drive away from Neil. There's Fitzy right behind him. And as you find on this track, it is extremely difficult to pass. You have to be very difficult on this track because a one little mistake you can come off. It is probably one of the most difficult tracks to pass on, as there isn't much room in the track to pass. But I see Fitzy's there right behind Neil, looking to see if he can close that gap enough to go for a pass. With Smithy there in fourth. He's got Toby there in fifth, right behind him on a rampage with the most wins so far this season. Looking to try and get another win here. And Motorstorm there in sixth. It's not too far behind. And then Dyson there in seventh. Dropped off a little bit with Victor chasing them down in eighth as they come through Paddocks Hill once again. And obviously Rodders is there in ninth. He's got Unforgiven chasing him down in 10th as they come around Druids for the third time. And then P White there in 11th, chasing him down. Now there was a few people who were unable to do round 3 because unfortunately the others who were supposed to be racing, their cars had engine trouble, so they were unable to even get the car on track, so they had to miss this. Hopefully they might be able to get in for the next race. We'll have to wait and see. Let's go back up to the front. Lap 3, Briz he is starting to ramp away gradually. It doesn't seem like anyone's anyway, Neil's still there in second. He's opened up a little bit of a gap to Fitzy now, who's now got Smith right behind him in fourth as they come through Paddocks Hill once again onto Druids. Let's run on board with Smith as they come through Graham Hills Bends, through Cooper Strait. Now down Pilgrim's Drop. Now onto Hawthorne's Hill, going on to Hawthorne's. Now go through Westfield. Now this is Dingle Dell. They're going through at the moment. Onto Sheen Curve and then Stirling Corner. Anyway, let's leave Smith there because he has got Rampant Toby and Motorstorm right behind him. Motorstorm looks like he's eyeing up, trying to make a move on Toby as they come through Paddocks Hill, and he does. He does get past Toby, but Toby's coming back at him as they're coming to Druids. Motorstorm goes out a little bit wide. That's allowed Toby the opportunity, but no, Motorstorm Hill has kept Toby just behind him. But Toby is putting Motorstorm Hero under a hell of a lot of pressure here. And then there's still a bit of a gap to Dyson there in 7th, who's got Victor trying to chase him down in 8th, not too far behind. And then there's a biggest gap starting to open up to Rodders there in 9th. And then Unforgiven there in 10th. And P White there in 11th. Anyway, Briz there on the 5th lap, coming out of Clark Curve onto the start-finish straight down to Pilgrim's Paddock Hill for the 6th time. Just at that moment, looks like he's having it easy. With Neil Farmack, then Neil there in 2nd still. He's still being chased by Fitzy. He's also got Smith, Motorstorm, and Toby there. Toby's still trying to get past Motorstorm here. They're having a good old battle here, good old shindigs here. Toby trying to get that position. His current fastest lap is a 1:23.3 by Brisbane, who is obviously leading, and he's got a bit of a gap to probably about 5-second gap to Neil now in 2nd, with Fitzy there in 3rd, Smith there in 4th, Motorstorm there in 5th, trying to chase Smith down, with Toby there trying to chase Motorstorm, and gradually Dyson in 7th is closing that gap to Toby. And Dyson definitely is getting closer gradually. With Victor there in 8th, and then there's a bit of a gap to Rodders there in 9th, with Unforgiven there in 10th. And P White there, he's really dropped off now, unfortunately, there in 11th spot. For lap 7. Briz is still dominating this race, with Neil now starting to pull away from Fitzy there in 2nd, with Fitzy there in 3rd. He does have Smith right behind him. You've also still got Motorstorm and Toby battling out. They've been battling out for quite a few laps now. Right, who's going to get that position? Is Toby going to be able to get past Motorstorm, or is Motorstorm going to be able to keep Toby behind him? It could be just a matter of laps before Toby actually manages to actually get past. Definitely look, Toby got through that corner a lot better than Motorstorm as they come out of Clark's Curve. So Smith just going through Paddock Hill onto Hailwoods Hill, onto Dewey's. So Toby and Motorstorm are at it again. At the moment, this is the closest battle out of everyone. Toby really wants that spot from Motorstorm. So at the moment, Briz is having it easy up there in the lead. He's got a purple sector again, so he may be trying to take a new fastest lap. With Neil there in 2nd, he's looking comfortable at the moment. With Smithy there in 3rd. Oh, wait a minute. Wonder if I missed something there. Oh, Fitzy went out a little bit wide. Hit the grass. Oh, got that turn a little bit wrong. That's allowed him Motorstorm Hero to get past him. So Fitzy's now dropped down a few positions. He's now right in the middle of this battle between Motorstorm and Toby. It's like Fitzy's just decided to get right out of the way because he is serving his penalty now. So that's Fitzy dropped down to 6th. Dyson's just passed him as they come out of Clark's Curve. But now is Fitzy going to be able to come back and try and get back to where he was in the field? That's going to be a question. Will he be able to or not? Now it's back to Motorstorm and Toby, still the closest battle, but now with Fitzy closing the gap on Dyson, there's going to be a little battle here between 6th and 7th. Then Victor there in 8th, and then Rodders there in 9th, Unforgiven there in 10th, and P right there in 11th. He just dropped right off now, unfortunately. Whereas Brisbane there on lap 9, he's still dominating this race as he comes through the Stirling corner once again for the 9th time. With Neil there still in 2nd spot. Smith is gradually closing that gap on him, but not very quickly. He is closing it, but looking at their lap times, Neil's fastest lap is at 23.9, and Smith has just posted his fastest lap so far for 23.6, so he is closing that gap on Neil gradually. Toby there in 4th, so he's dropped. Oh, Motorstorm Hero, is that... Oh, what's happened to Motorstorm Hero? 1, 2, 3, 4. Motorstorm Hero was in 4th. Oh, we got Clark's curve all completely wrong. Oh, he saved himself from spinning there and losing too many spots, but that has cost him a little bit of time. Dyson going up the inside of Motorstorm there. And Fitzy now having a go as well. The Motorstorm will be a bit disappointed there. He's dropped a couple positions there. So that's allowed Toby to go up, get up to 4th position. So he's finally got Motorstorm out of his way. And Dyson there in 5th, with Motorstorm there obviously in 6th. Fitzy there in 7th. Victor there, closing this gap on his 3 gradually in 8th. And there's a big gap from 8th to 9th, which is Unforgiven, so he's got past Rodders now. I think Rodders went on, must have gone off somewhere. So Rodders is now down to 10th, and P White there in 11th. We are now on lap 11. Brisbane still leads this race with Neil still in 2nd spot, so there's no change there. But Smith is still trying to close this gap on Neil. He is doing it, he is closing down gradually. And he is starting to put Neil under pressure. At the moment, Smith is in the consistent 23s, whereas Neil is in the consistent 24s. And Smith is gotten even closer now. He is right on Neil's right rear bumper as they come through Westfield onto Dingledale. Through Shin Curve onto Stirling Corner now. Now they're going to come onto Clearways and come out from Clark Curve. Smith is definitely getting closer to Neil. Neil's being put under a lot of pressure here. Looks like Smith is good. He is looking, but he's decided against it. Smith is really pushing to try and get past. are on lap 12. The laps are starting to run out, so the laps are running down for Smith to try and get that second position off of Neil. But he is really trying. We'll come back to this. But there is a gap open, has opened up to Toby there in 4th, and then a gap there to Motorstorm in 5th, so he's finally been able to get past Fitzy there. In 6th, with Victor there in 7th, Dyson there in 8th. Oh, so Dyson's had a mishap. He's come off somewhere because he was ahead of Motorstorm. I want to say, so he's dropped down a few spots down to 8th. And Unforgiven there in 9th. Rogers there in 10th and P White there in 11th, so no change at the back at the moment. But we're at 13. We've got 4 laps left after this. Brisbane has led from the start. He's got the fastest lap, but is he going to be able to finish this? Is he going to be able to take the win out of this race? We can wait and see, because it is definitely possible if he can keep it on the track. Anyway, we're going to leave Brisbane. Let's come up to this little battle between 2nd and 3rd. Toby is closing the gap gradually on him. The question is he going to be able to close up soon and fast enough? But he's actually put the pedal, looks like Neil has put the pedal down now, because Smith was a lot closer. Now Smith's dropped off a little bit. But it looks like Smith may have taken his foot off the pedal a little bit, allowing Neil to get away a bit. But Smith is back right behind him as they come to Druid's corner. Through Graham Hill's corner, Graham Hill's bend, I mean. Toby there in 4th. He could see him just down the road from him, so Toby will be doing whatever he can to try and close that gap. Now, compared to the lap times, so Toby has set a faster lap than Neil and Smith has, so Toby will gradually, he is closing the gap on them gradually, not very quickly though. And Motorstorm there in 5th. Hitting a bit of the grass, but managing to keep it going. Fitzy there in 6th. Oh, it's Motorstorm Hero. Oh, Motorstorm Hero nearly did the same thing as he did a couple laps ago, but he didn't get punished so much. He did lose a position to Fitzy though. So now Motorstorm's down to 6th. With Victor there in 7th. Dyson there in 8th. Unforgiven there in 9th. Rogers there in 10th. P White there in 11th. So no change in the bottom 3. And definitely no change at the top. Brisbane on lap 15 has been dominating this race. No one's even got close to him. He's just hit the pedal. He basically hit pedal to the metal and literally just stormed away with no pressure from anyone at all in this. And he does have the fastest lap as well for 1:23.220. Comes out clocks curve for the 15th time. Entering the 16th lap will be, so basically he has 2 laps left for the win. Neil there in second. But Toby's got, oh, let's have a look. That's just changed. Oh! Smith was right behind Neil Farmack as he comes into Clearway and Clark's curve. Oh, goes out a little bit too wide there. Oh! But he manages to, he doesn't go off track, he just gets that little bit wrong. So he drops one position to allow Toby to take third spot off of him. So Smith will be a little bit disappointed there, but he hasn't lost too many positions, he's only lost the one position, so he actually got away with that one quite well. So Brisbane in first, Neil there in second, Toby now in third, thanks to Smith having that little spinneroonie. Smith is obviously there in fourth, Fitzy there in fifth, Motorstorm there in sixth, Victor there in seventh, Dyson there in eighth, Unforgiven there in ninth, Waters there in 10th, P White there in oh! P White there, very glitchy there from oh, very glitchy there from P White, very laggy there from P White. Not very good internet at the moment for him by the looks of it. So we're lap 17 now on the penultimate lap with Brisbane leading. Neil there in second, Toby there in third, Smith there in fourth, Fitzy there in fifth, Motorstorm sixth, Victor there in seventh, Dyson there in eighth, Unforgiven there in ninth. Now he's starting to be challenged by Rodders there in 10th. Can Rodders get past Unforgiven before the end of this race? Well, it is. They have one more lap after this. And P White there in 11th. Anyway, Brisbane just coming coming through Stirling for the 17th time. Out of Clark's curb to start his penultimate lap. Neil there in second. Toby is definitely trying to close that gap. I don't think he's going to have enough to be able to close that. I don't think Toby's going to get the opportunity to get closer to Neil. He is trying, he is pushing that Ferrari as much as he can, but I don't think he will get close enough. Smith there in fourth, with Motorstorm there in fifth, Dyson there in sixth, Victor there in seventh, Fitzy there in eighth, Unforgiven there in ninth, Rodders there in 10th, and P White there in 11th. So let's just stay with Brisbane as he comes through the Dingledale, through Sheen Curve, through Stirling Corner, now through Clearways and Clark Curve, onto the start-finish straight, and Brisbane takes victory. Race 1 victory, dominate from start to finish, and got the pole and got the fastest lap, so one doubt, well done to him. Neil takes second with Toby, followed closely behind in third, so well done to the top three. Smith takes fourth. Motorstorm takes fifth. Dyson takes sixth. Victor takes seventh. Bitsy takes eighth. Unforgiven takes ninth. Rogers takes 10th. And P. White will take the last position on the spot. Anyway, like I say, that's the end of race 1. Thank you everyone for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'll also give a shout out to the sponsor, EAC Eldridge Air Conditioning. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time for race 2.